Guys, AOC has set the internet on fire. Hey everyone, welcome back to the AOC Moreno Show. Hope you are feeling good today. AOC voted no on an amendment that was supposed to cut funding to Israel, and AOC's followers completely exploded in frustration, in disagreement, and this is very, very interesting. And I wanted to go ahead and make a quick video about it. People are calling her a sellout, a Zionist, accusing her of betrayal. And I think right now it's just really interesting whenever you have someone that is as politically charged as AOC and they start kind of voting against what the political norm is. And I really do want us to talk about it. So let's go ahead and do that. Also, if you think conversations like this matter, please consider liking and subscribing. It does make a huge difference. All right, check this out. So this is what AOC posted today, has almost 9 million views, huge. I'm just going to go ahead and read it, check it out. Marjorie Taylor Greene's amendment does nothing to cut off offensive aid to Israel, nor end the flow of U.S. munitions being used in Gaza. Of course, I voted against it. What it does do is cut off defensive Iron Dome capabilities while allowing the actual bombs killing Palestinians to continue. I have long stated that I do not believe that adding to the death count of innocent victims to this war is constructive to its end. That is a simple and clear difference of opinion that has long been established. I remain focused on cutting the flow of U.S. munitions that are being used to perpetuate the genocide in Gaza. So what she's basically saying here is, I want to stop the offensive weapons, but not the shields. And all of her followers hated it. All of her followers have literally lost their mind over this. All right. It is just bonkers. I'm going to go ahead and read some of these. Well, look at this. It says missiles for Israel. Just complete crazy. This other GIF is someone saying, oh no, how dare she, nodding their head. Right. And here's the thing. I think sometimes people, they don't want the truth. They don't want the explanation. Some people just want a loyalty. They want party loyalty. And it's interesting because, me being an independent on this, in this space, we always love when people kind of get outside of their comfort zone and they're not so like, oh, like red all the way or blue no matter who. But right now in this moment, you could see that the left is very clearly more unforgiving in this space. And it's terrible. Check this out. AOC voted against cutting funding to Israel, LMAO. This has over 500,000 views, probably closer to 1 million now. Another person says, AOC doesn't even get AIPAC money. She does Zionism for the love of the game. What sucks is, like, real integrity looks suspicious when everyone else is bought. So whenever I think about this whole AIPAC scenario, like AOC doesn't take AIPAC money. And that's what makes her vote even more controversial, because she didn't do it for funding. She did it because she believed that was right. And that exposed her even more to criticism. And unfortunately, this criticism is coming from her own party. And I'm sure she's not that used to that, which is terrible. Another person says, ha ha ha, someone is running for president, in regards to this post. And looks like this post is just at 9 million views. This has went mega viral. But on this conversation, like, AOC in 2028 is something that we talked a lot about, and I do think that's a very real possibility. I don't think anyone's going to be surprised there, but I do think, like, you start making different decisions whenever that possibility comes up. Big decisions come whenever you're playing for a bigger stage. And I think whenever you're someone who was the underdog, you play like an underdog. But to now that 2028 is actually a real possibility for someone like AOC, she understands that the game is changing. So some do say this is about positioning, it's about appealing to the centrists, it's about building some sort of national credibility. And I do think that's something that we are saying. I think the other aspect of this is, like, if this isn't about her running for president in 2028, which I also think that's very okay to say, I do think this could just be about like someone sticking to their guns, doing what they think is right. Like, we don't vote for these people because we expect them to just do everything that we want them to do. Like, we vote for these people because we trust their perspectives, we trust their character, we trust their values. And again, like, I want to say this perfectly clear. Like, I am not a fan of AOC per se. I don't think our values are aligned. I don't think our vision for the future is a one for one. But I did think it was interesting to see this moment in the political climate when so many of AOC's followers are apparently turning against her. And I do think that this is also okay to say, like, we talked about this essentially the past 2 weeks with Trump and this Epstein case. It's like, just because Trump and his MAGA base are fighting doesn't mean that this whole relationship or this whole alliance is completely imploding, like some people on the left make it seem. I do think something that's very radical is, like, you can have a difference of opinion from someone that you voted for in some cases and still criticize them. And that is okay. AOC is in the kitchen and she is 100% exposed to the heat. And that is perfectly fine. I did think this perspective was interesting. This is by a Max Blumenthal. All right, check this out. I didn't know this. I don't know how true this is, but it looks like this is reporting, a real reporting by the Times of Israel. Check this out. AOC's career was launched by two Israeli venture capitalists, Joe Raby and Sheni Yerushalami, of Gauge Strategies. I hope I pronounced those names right. I'm the worst here. But the origin story is left out of her bio, but suggests an Obama-esque trajectory toward national power. As with Obama, the signs of sellout were always there. I'm not sure how true this is, but whenever there is kind of something brewing within the party and or within someone like AOC and their base, I do think these types of conspiracies do start popping up. So I do think that was very interesting, to say the least. But I'd love to know what you guys think about this, right? AOC voted against the grain. That's what we witnessed today. And we are seeing this eruption or this difference of opinion from her and her base and her followers. This loyalty that isn't shattering, but I would say it's a little fractured in this moment. But bones are strong. People get healed. People are frustrated. Completely okay. But I'd love to know what you think about all this, right? Did she make the right call, or is that a little too controversial? All right. Is she fueling for a run in 2028? I'd love to know what you think. If you ask me, the answer is absolutely yes. All right. I think she's been planning on running in 2028 for a really long time. And I think over the next couple of months and years, we are going to see these signals, these indicators of her moving closer and closer to the national stage. And honestly, she's very comfortable on the stage. All right. So I don't think this is going to surprise anyone, but I would love to know what you all think about all this. All right. So let me know what you think about this in the comment section. What do you agree with? What do you disagree with? And what do you see in the future? All right. I'd love to hear you. All right. Thank you so much. If you've made it this far, please consider liking and subscribing, and I'll see you guys next time. Episode's over already? Jeez, that was fast. Well, they say beautiful things do not last forever, but feel free to watch and listen to another one of these episodes if you're interested in those conversations as well. Also, this next part is huge. Make sure to obliterate that like and subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never skip a beat. I also have a newsletter where we dive into the news, politics, and ideas that shape our future. If you're interested in signing up, I'd really appreciate that. Anyways, that's the end of this episode. Thank you so much for watching and listening, and I'll see you next time.